Very few, if any, family businesses start off in a planned way. Right? Usually someone's got a great idea, someone decides to buy a truck, and this ends up growing into an enormous transport company. Someone's on the farm, and then one of the kids start taking over the farm, and there's other investments, and so on and so on. So usually they just happen. There's usually a mad scramble. You've got to manage cash flow, you've got to get things done, you've got to manage your customers, you've got to get your orders out, all that sort of thing. Everybody does whatever is needed. And that's part of the magic of family business. A lot of the time family members aren't even paid. They're hopefully that'll be successful and all that sort of thing. And that's just what happens. The challenge with family business, though, is that we start wearing an awful lot of different hats simultaneously. So I can be the son, I can be the director of the business, I can be a shareholder, I can be a brother, I can be a father, right? And so all these different roles that, and also, of course, I can be the general manager. We tend to wear all these different hats and being both sort of that mix of family and the roles in the family and the business and what we're doing in the governance. The challenge is that we tend to forget what conversation we're having. Now, I probably lost count of the number of kids who've told me, we're just so sick of mum and dad talking about the business at the dinner table. Right? And they just go on, and they'll reminisce back, right? And the parents are constantly talking about what's going on, and they're having dinner, and they're taking phone calls. For family businesses, even more importantly than from a normal business, you have to be really clear, which hat are you wearing? Because they're different conversations. A shareholder's conversation is different to a board conversation, which is different to having an executive team type of conversation, which of course is very different from having a conversation with your dad or your mum. It's knowing which hat you're wearing. Right? And so if I'm both dad and I am the managing director, and I'm talking to my daughter, I've got to be clear, which hat am I wearing at this point? Am I talking about what's going on in the business and what she might have done or not done? Or am I actually, checking in with her and seeing how her homework is going, or what's happening at university, or, what's going on with the boyfriend and all that sort of thing, right? So be really clear. So what we recommend here is that you have not only a separate meeting, but a separate place. So you have one place where you meet when you're having shareholders meeting, which is only probably once or twice a year. You have another place where you have your directors meeting, where you're talking about things that directors need to talk about. And of course you have another place when you're having a management meeting. And at home, around the dinner table, that's family. Right? And I know some families who make rules, and they'll go, we don't talk about business after 7:30 at night, or we don't talk about business at the weekend, or something like that. And they might seem a bit too hard, but actually they're really important, because the business can become all-encompassing. And at times we have to put some boundaries around it, because yes, while we run a business, we also run a family. And we've got to make sure that those are both nurtured in both ways.